They say the sea remembers. Not everything, not names or faces or crowns, but it remembers the truth. And the truth is, once there was a queen, a mermaid queen named Neris. She ruled the oceans with wisdom and grace, not with force, but with heart. Her voice could calm storms. Her smile could bring coral back to life. She was the heartbeat of the ocean, and the ocean loved her back. Queen Neris had long silver hair that flowed like liquid moonlight, and her crown shimmered with pearls older than time. Her throne was carved from the shell of a sea titan, strong, sacred, unshakable. And beneath that throne, she hid something. She whispered words in an ancient language and pressed the pearl to her heart. The ocean around her pulsed. She was crying, but no one saw. Then, without warning, she vanished. No war, no sickness, no goodbye, just gone. Some say she swam into the deepest trench and became part of the sea. Others believe she died protecting a secret. But only a very few, know the legend. That she left behind a treasure, not just gold, not just pearls. Something bigger, something alive. And they say that treasure still waits, in the place where the sea sings in silence, a place only the chosen can find. But not everyone seeks it for good. Some want it to rule, to destroy, to awaken old powers that should have stayed sleeping. Time passed. The world moved on. The name Neris faded into bedtime stories. Her treasure became a fairy tale, a tale for the curious and the foolish. Until one night, when a storm changed everything. The treasure had waited long enough, and soon the sea would remember. Far from the old palace ruins and forgotten legends, in a quiet reef village where shells lined every home and laughter bubbled through the tides, lived a mermaid named Scarlet. She didn't look like a legend. She wasn't royal. She didn't have ancient pearls in her hair or sacred scales passed down through bloodlines. She was just Scarlet, a girl with fire in her spirit and questions in her eyes. Scarlet's long coral red hair streamed behind her like ribbons, wild and free. Her tail shimmered in shades of golden rose and ember, like she carried a sunrise inside her. Other girls braided sea flowers or chased dolphins through kelp gardens. But Scarlet, she dreamed of something beyond the reef, beyond what was safe, beyond what made sense. Every night she had the same dream, a voice whispering her name, a woman's voice, soft, powerful, and familiar, and always the same words. The treasure is not gold, it is truth. She'd wake up breathless, shaken, confused. She told no one. Until one morning. At the tide market, Scarlet meets her best friend, Ruby. Ruby was the opposite of Scarlet. Her deep teal tail shimmered like jade. Her laugh was loud, and her heart louder. Ruby teasing says, "Still having your mystery dreams, dreamfish?" Scarlet replies, "They feel real, Ruby. I hear a voice. I see places I've never been. And last night, I saw a glowing map." Ruby's teasing stopped. "A map?" Scarlet nodded. Her hand trembled slightly. And there was a mark, a symbol, like a pearl with wings. I think I've seen it before. Later that day, Scarlet sneaks into the reef library, an ancient kelp-wrapped ruin. Most of the scrolls were moldy, forgotten, but tucked behind an old coral pillar. She found it, a scrap of fabric, worn, faded, but clear as sunlight, the mark from her dream. She races to Ruby's cave, breathless. "It's real, Ruby. It's real. I'm not dreaming." Ruby stares, speechless. "Scar, what if this is part of the legend? The one about Queen Neris?" Scarlet's eyes lit up. Then it means something survived. A clue, a trail. Maybe the treasure is real. Or maybe it's cursed, Scarlet whispers. Either way, I need to know. Late at night, Scarlet floats at the reef edge, looking out into the deep blue beyond. She didn't tell her parents. She didn't say goodbye. She only clutched the scrap with the symbol and whispered, "I'm coming for the truth." And with one powerful kick, she swam into the unknown. And so the girl with flame in her hair began the journey that would awaken the sea itself. The treasure of the Mermaid Queen had waited long enough. And Scarlet? She was born to find it. Far from the warm coral reefs Scarlet knew, past the jagged trenches, beyond the black kelp forests where light barely touched the seafloor, lived someone the ocean had nearly forgotten. A young merman moved through the gloom like a shadow himself. Strong, careful, alone. Zack. His tail was a deep midnight blue, with hints of steel and indigo, built for speed and silence. His short dark hair was tousled from salt currents. His eyes, stormy gray, held stories no one else had ever heard, because Zack didn't speak much, not to anyone. He lived on the edge of the world, the place sea maps called the Drowning Rim, where wrecks sank, where predators roamed, where the water turned cold and time forgot. But Zack had grown up here, or rather, survived here. His parents had vanished years ago, treasure seekers who dove too deep chasing a legend. Queen Neris's treasure, the same legend Scarlet had begun to chase. Zack stopped believing in legends the day he found their compass drifting in the current, still ticking, but no sign of them anywhere. He never cried. But that day, something inside him had cracked. Zack drifting to the surface of a wrecked ship, collecting scraps. Something strange glints. He picks up a stone tablet, cracked and glowing faintly, a symbol. A pearl with wings. He freezes. Zack says softly to himself, "No, that can't be." It was the same symbol from his parents' map, the one they were chasing, the one they never returned from. Zack returns to his cave, lays the glowing tablet next to his mother's old journal. He reads, carefully, a line written in faded ink. 3 will follow the path of the queen. 1 will find her truth. He stares at it, blinks, and suddenly, for the first time in years, he feels a pull, like something or someone is about to change his story. Scarlet, still chasing the map she's pieced together, but she's not alone in these waters. A pair of glowing yellow eyes watches her from behind a ridge, something dark and ancient. Zack senses movement. He grabs his blade and bolts through the current. Just in time, Scarlet is surrounded, cornered in the trench by strange eel-like creatures with glowing red scars. Her eyes are wide. She's clutching her treasure map scrap. Scarlet starts panicking. "No, no, no! Stay away from me!" A blur slices through the water. Zack appears like a phantom, fast and fierce. He drives the eels back with sharp precision. Scarlet stares, breathless. Scarlet asks, "Who are you?" Zack responds quietly, "Someone who's been running from this longer than you've known it existed." And that night, in a sea cave lit by glowing moss, 2 strangers sat across a small fire pearl, one chasing a voice in her dreams, the other haunted by silence, and somehow, they both carried the same symbol. Scarlet holds up her map piece. Zack lays down the stone. "I think the treasure is calling us both." Zack sighs. "Then we're already in deeper than we think." Fate had begun to weave its threads. Scarlet had found Zack, but the ocean, it was just getting started. While Scarlet followed the map, and Zack faced ghosts from his past, one mermaid floated just beneath the surface of everything. Ruby, Scarlet's closest friend. A heart too big, a mind too sharp to sit still. Ruby had waited and waited, but Scarlet hadn't returned. Not by sundown, not by moonrise. Ruby whispers, gripping the necklace Scarlet gave her. What if something's wrong? She looked back toward the reef. Home, safe, familiar. But her gut pulled her the other way, toward the deeper sea. And Ruby? Ruby always followed her gut. Ruby swims swiftly through open waters, weaving through kelp forests and sunken ruins. She wasn't reckless. She was determined. Unlike Scarlet, Ruby had never wanted treasure. She wanted truth. She wanted to understand why the sea kept secrets, why the Queen's name was never spoken, why a lullaby Scarlet once hummed felt sacred. Ruby finds an underwater rock etched with the same pearl with wings symbol. Her breath catches. Ruby says softly, "You weren't chasing a story, Scarlet. You were chasing something real." And she wasn't the only one chasing. From a trench behind her, a slick shadow glided silently, scales like obsidian, eyes like molten amber. A sea warden, one of the ancient guardians created by Queen Neris herself, long ago, before the treasure was hidden. It had awakened, because someone had triggered the Queen's trial. Ruby hides, heart racing, tail pressed to stone. The warden sniffs the water, sensing power. Memory. But Ruby does not run. Ruby whispers to herself, "You want to test me? Fine, let's see if I'm meant for this." She darts upward, fast and bright like a flame in water. The sea warden gives chase. Ruby lures it into a loop through fallen columns and shattered coral gates, until she leads it right into a collapsing cavern. Boom! A wall of stone and sand traps it inside. She'd done it, alone, but not for glory. She only looked back once, then swam on, breath steady. Ruby reaches a sea ruin, where a shard of a queen statue remains, hand outstretched, holding a broken gem. She touches it gently. A vision flashes through her mind. 3 shapes, 3 voices, 3 trials. The treasure wasn't just gold. It was purpose. It was legacy. It was choice. Ruby follows current markings, bioluminescent trails left behind from Scarlet's dive. She's close now, and the sea, it's beginning to hum. Scarlet and Zack were resting in a sea cave. Zack sharpening his harpoon quietly, Scarlet studying the map. Suddenly, movement at the entrance. Scarlet spins around. "Ruby?" Ruby out of breath, grinning. "Took me long enough, huh?" They rush into each other's arms, laughing and shaking, tears in their eyes. Ruby looking at Zack. "And who's this?" Scarlet smiling replies, "Someone who's part of the story now." The 3 were together, at last. Each had followed a different current, but now the real journey would begin. The ocean had grown quiet, not peaceful, but watchful, like something ancient was listening again. They swim through a darkening trench, lit only by Scarlet's glowing coral map. Scarlet, frowning at the current, says, "This is it. The first mark on the Queen's map." Ruby, squinting ahead, replies, "Looks more like the last place anyone would want to go." Zack says quietly, "That's probably why it's hidden." They approach a massive stone wall covered in ancient shell runes. It's cracked, yet powerful. The moment Scarlet places her hand on it, the runes light up. A circular gate of water opens, a portal. Behind it, darkness, and within it, movement. The labyrinth below, built by the Mermaid Queen herself. A maze of memory, of illusion, of truth. Only those worthy could pass. They swam into the entrance chamber. As soon as they cross the threshold, the portal seals behind them. The walls glow faintly, coral pink and sea blue, shifting like living stone. A voice echoes through the chamber. "To reach the crown, you must first know your own reflection." Ruby whispers, "It's alive." They enter the first chamber, a wide open cave with a still pool at the center. No current, no fish, no sound, just the mirror water. Scarlet peers in. It's just a pond. Her reflection suddenly blinks before she does. She jerks back. Zack, tensed, says, "This is not a pond, it's a test." Each of them is drawn in one by one. Reflections come to life and speak their greatest fears. You think you're brave, but you're just a story chaser. You don't even know who you are without the treasure. Scarlet flinches, but instead of arguing, she places a hand on the water. "I don't have all the answers, but I'm not running anymore." The reflection smiles and fades. "You'll always be second. Always the follower, even now, Ruby responds softly. Maybe, but I still came. I still chose this. I choose me. Her reflection bows. The water clears. You'll never be free of what your family did. The ocean won't forgive you. Zack glares. Maybe not, but I will keep trying. A drop of silver tears into the water, and the chamber door opens. They had faced themselves, and were stronger for it. They swim deeper, into narrow coral tunnels. Voices swirl, whispering things they never said. Ruby hears her father's voice. Zack hears his brother's laugh. Scarlet hears the Mermaid Queen's lullaby. But it's not real. Scarlet firm. Don't follow the sound. Follow the map. They close their eyes, hold hands, and the whispers fall silent. They reach a great dome lit by floating lava coral. It spins slowly, forming a spiral. At the center, a golden clamshell, pulsing with energy. Zack steps forward. There's something in it. A gem scarlet reading markings. The fire pearl, first piece of the Queen's key. But the spiral coral shifts, forming a moving ring of flame. It tests courage and pain. Only one can swim through at a time. Scarlet volunteers, swims through the burning coral, flinches, cries out, pushes forward anyway. Her skin singes slightly, but the flame leaves behind glowing markings across her arm. She grabs the fire pearl. The entire labyrinth shudders. Ruby rushed to her. Scarlet, are you okay? Scarlet breathing hard. I'm fine. We've got it. First piece. One step closer. The wall behind the pearl collapses, revealing a glowing tunnel upward. The labyrinth had accepted them. For now, but greater trials lay ahead. They had walked through fear, faced lies, endured fire, and now, with the Queen's first gem in their hands, the path to the treasure and its true purpose had only just begun.